he was evil. He went good. He almost died. Lost
Yes.
his powers. Got him back barely. Lost his powers again. Left the team. Came back. Left the team again. Came back. Came back as a mysterious White Ranger. And then took over the team from Jason as the new de facto leader. Well, Jason was still there, still able to not really hold his hand, but give him advice when he needed it. But then he lost Jason. He lost his
number one.
Yeah, he lost his number one.
Yeah. And then so he had to physically train a new Red Ranger and show the ropes to the new Black and Yellow Ranger. But
which he kind of failed at.
It kind of failed at, and you see it. It happens, right? So, but yeah,
he had to learn. He had to learn how to do these things, and
welcome again to this episode of Zero to Hero. I hope all you grid travelers have found the right podcast to listen to. Welcome, all grid travelers. I hope that you find this episode of Zero to Hero quite fascinating. I'm Billy, the host, and I'm always joined by my brother, Jim. And tonight, we're going to explore some changes that we said that we were going to make for the new year of 2023. And tonight, or this whole month, I should say, this whole month is going to be a topic of new beginnings. Since we decided that we've had our fun, we've had our shenanigans, and I feel like that we should do deeper dives into certain topics. We'll still have our comedy, our shtick, our funny commercials, and our guests of the weeks. But buckle up, buddies, because we're going to go on a trip down the morphing grid. Jim, cue that music! I don't know what music I'm talking about.
Applying changes!
There you go.
Did it work?
Did it work?
Do you feel anything? Do you feel anything at all? Do you?
Just my low blood sugar.
I'm scared.
But yes. So, Jim, we've been talking to ourselves as we normally do.
Honestly, I find it worrisome that we talk to ourselves so much.
So much.
We need new friends.
But we decided to kind of focus in more and see where it takes us from here. And tonight is a perfect night for that. And let's see how this plays out.
Well, with the new year that just happened a couple days ago, as recording this, we decided to focus this month on new beginnings and leadership, and how you develop into, or how development of leadership happens over time.
Yes.
And we're going to put that in focus of Power Rangers.
Ha!
Suckers, we got you!
Gotcha. That's going to be $49.99.
You know what? We'll make a 2-deal special for $49.59, and you get one for the price of 2.
Yes. Join all Patreon.
No, we don't have a Patreon. We have a Ko-Fi. Join our Ko-Fi to get this episode without ads. Well, without paid ads. What do you mean this is unpaid for?
What do you mean?
So
let's break it down.
Well, before we get started, we're gonna have other topics through the months and stuff, and just hang on tight. We'll be making lists and everything to kind of figure out exactly where we're going, and we're gonna make announcements as we go and as we improve on this. So, this is the first chapter in 2023 on how we're doing this show differently. Be prepared. Be scared.
It's still gonna be fun.
Fun's a very, very strong word.
All right, let's find us where not so strong.
Entertaining.
All right. I know we're gonna put a commercial in right there, right?
We can.
Does your Zord have many miles? Is it start squeaking and cracking? Is it start knocking every time you get in the Zord and head out for a battle? Well, take it on down there to Jimmy's Zord Repair, where he's got all your Zord needs. He'll change your Zord hydraulic fluid. You need the oil changed up in your Zord, he'll get it going. Or the wiper blades broken on the Zord windows, well, we'll change them out for you. Just bring them on down here to Jim's Zord Repair. We got you. We're just on the corner of Westway and Sunward. Come on down. There's a coupon in the mail. You probably won't find it, and I won't honor it, but come on down and I'll take care of you.
3, 2, 1. We're coming back.
Applying changes. So on tonight's episode, Jimmy, we should totally just break down how, like we said, new beginnings. And so what's a good way to start? Then talk about a new beginning from Haim Saban in 1993.
I cannot believe you didn't know he was Jewish.
Oh, I didn't know. I never paid attention. And then I saw that Toys That Made Us, and I was like, wait, he's Israeli? Oh, man.
He's Israeli. I don't think he's Jewish. I'm not 100% on that. To be fair, I always thought he was Turkish. For the longest time, I thought he was a Turk.
Oh. I didn't know that. So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
But yes.
Well, he gave us a fantastic idea called Power Rangers. And the writing staff gave us some amazing characters. We're going to talk about the beginnings and how the teams became the teams that we know. And then we're going to expand from there.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as we know, in 1993, we were blessed and graced upon with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And as we know, Zordon and Alpha, outside their helmet cream service, recruited 5 teenagers with attitude. And who, you might say, are those 5? Well,
Bulk,
let me tell you.
Skull, Billy, Zach.
Oh, God, we're getting them into. So, they recruited Jason, Billy, Zach, Trini, and Kimberly. Mm-hmm. And then they also had 2 companions of the lovable Bulk and Skull.
Heroes of the entire series, the greatest things ever exist in the show.
Yes.
But yes.
Everything like.
But we got these teenagers plucked out of society to defend the world against great evil. And we had to watch them grow into a team because when they first started, they weren't a team at all. They didn't know what they're doing whatsoever. And this is going to be a consistent theming whenever there's a new series with new Rangers. Is you see these Rangers who have no idea how to work together, except for Ninja Storm.
And I don't think they even knew who each other were.
They had a vague idea who each other were. Like I know Kimberly knew Jason. Jason knew Zach. Zach knew Billy. Billy knew Trini, and Trini knew Kimberly, and Kimberly knew Jason and Zach, and Trini. So that's as far as I remember.
Right.
So they had an idea who each other were, but they weren't friends with each other at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we got to see the Valley Girl, the quiet lady, the quiet girl, the hip hop guy, the nerdy guy, and the leader guy, all kind of show up together and then completely bomb the first attempt of being a team.
Yeah, all walks of different social classes get mashed up together in this series.
Yep. And it's a constant theming too. We see this a lot actually. We can point out Lightspeed Rescue, where you have different professions come together to become Rangers, and they don't know who each other are, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's actually another good point. Is some new beginnings are like Mighty Morphin, where they were in school and they were kind of thrusted upon this mission to help defend Earth, but in Lightspeed Rescue, it's a career for them. They get drafted to do this job.
Same with Time Force and Ninja Storm and a couple other series. And we see these young kids get drafted into this war, and you see them develop into the heroes they deserve to be. I really want to talk about Billy. To be fair with you, not Billy on the screen with me, but the other Billy, the cool one.
They know which one.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I just want to verify I know what I'm talking about. Because if I start talking about your dirty little secrets, this show's canceled.
Go on. I want to hear from somebody else's mouth.
Exactly.
All right.
So we have Billy Cranston who shows up, and he's not a leader. He's just a nerdy guy at school, right? Well, he's exceptionally smart. He's a nerdy guy at school, and no one really thinks of him as anything more than that. But he gets drafted along with these other 4 Rangers, and he gets you can see him develop over time. And I know it's a 3 series arc for his development, but you see him going from the nerdy guy to the smart kind of athletic guy to the honky man in season 3 and season 4.
Right.
Yeah, because
that's it.
he wore tank tops a lot, but you saw him develop from not be able to hold like a conversation with someone else to be able to explain super super high level like technical terms to someone who's not technically inclined. Like, I mean, in the first to Jason, like he was able to talk to Tommy about stuff about the Megazords, and Tommy's like, this makes sense.
Yeah, in the first season, you do see like Billy was very timid and very shy, especially in like the very first episode. You can see it.
Yeah, and we can even like talk about the comics as well, because it shows up in the comics as well. Because up till the split history with Shattered Grid, the comics and the show kind of line up, so it's not like too far off. They kind of fill in the blanks between episodes. And you see Billy go from like completely timid to being able to hold his own in a conversation and an argument with other Rangers. Especially when there starts going with the Dark Dragon series, which is Draken. Like that whole like thing. Oh my goodness. So you see him go and like see the world of coinless and stuff like that, where he goes from being exceptionally timid to developing into essentially developing a backbone and telling people to shut up and leave him alone. And later in the series, like in the comics, you see him stand up as Zordon too, which is even better. Like I like the dynamic where Billy actually becomes a reasonable character who has his own thoughts and opinions, and they differ from other people. He's not just going along with everything. He has different opinions.
Of course.
Yeah. So, talk about the comics and Grace and Draken. I kind of want to talk about Tommy, though. Right?
All right.
So Tommy comes in as the bad guy, right?
Right.
What are you going to say?
No, that's right.
Yeah, he comes as a bad guy who's like Rita's like puppet. And we've heard the story 1,000 times of the Green with Evil, right? So we're not going to cover that. We've heard it 1,000 times. Tommy beats up the Megazord. He breaks into the Megazord. Yeah. Oh no! Throws over another Megazord. Okay, cool. Done. Become friends. Done. I'm not gonna have this conversation again because I've had it too many times. But I do kind of want to talk about comic Tommy because it lines up with show Tommy.
Well, I was gonna. There's actually something really particular with that. Is like when you find an enemy, like somebody that's trying to destroy you, or like an example I would say is like war. Like in real life, is like you know who they are, but you don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Power Ranger series, they knew who Tommy was. They went to school with him. They conversated with him.
Well, Tommy was also the new guy. He was
also the new guy. So it changes that whole Green with Evil dynamic and everything, because
it makes it more real and more personable.
It makes it way more personal because they know who the Green Ranger is, right?
And the Green Ranger knows who they are
and knows who they are.
Yeah, that's. So this is kind of why I like the original series, because Rita knew who the Rangers were. Like they figured out who the Rangers were. Goldar knew who they were, but they knew like they had limits. And, like I don't really think Rita was that bad because she never went after the Rangers' families.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She never really did. Like there was that one time where like the families got together like at a thing, but it wasn't really like bad. It was more of a nuisance or anything. It wasn't horrendously bad. Same way with Divatox. Divatox didn't go after anyone's families, which is kind of Weird.
I think if it wasn't like a kids show, I'm pretty sure that would have happened.
Like if it was on the CW under the Arrowverse, yeah, it would probably happen.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
The Arrowverse, don't you take it out of your mouth in my household.
Rita would have flash pointed Trini's family or something.
Jesus. It's going straight for Tommy's. Like, she would have found Tommy's real parents and been like, nope.
Yeah.
So we get to see Jason and Tommy have these conversations, especially in the comics, where Jason's like, I know when to step down as a leader and let someone else who is the leader take over, because I know when I know that you're learning and I'm already here, and you need, because I'm not going to be here forever. I need someone to take my place, and he would start training Tommy to be the leader and like comforting him and making sure that Tommy knew that he had support from Jason. And Jason was like 100% on board with it. He's like, I'm on board with this. We're doing this. You're going to be the leader. Like, plain and simple. Like, I don't need to be it right now. You got this.
Right. And it's like, I know for Jason too, like as he was inside sports and in high school, leader in sports, it's kind of hard to accept the fact that there's somebody above him.
Yeah. Like,
I feel so like you see it. The altercations.
Jason's one of the most humble like characters in all of Power Rangers. Because he knew when to like, I get it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna fight you about this. I'm gonna support you.
Like, so that's why it was. That's why it was so accepting of whenever the Green Ranger turned good.
Yeah,
it's like because he knew
you had some like you had Kimberly who was kind of distrustful from him. Same with Billy, and I think Zach was a little iffy about him at first. But Jason was 100% on board. He was like, I'm 100% on board with this guy. Zordon says he's a good guy. I trust Zordon. We're gonna rock and roll with this, and we're gonna stick the landing.
Yeah, I also think that he also was accepting of it too, because Jason and Tommy were both very competitive, so they can easily push each other to new limits.
That's the thing, too. We actually see that in a the new TMNT comic, the TMNT Power Rangers crossover. So Wrath and Tommy are very competitive, while Jason and Leo are more calm and collected, but still competitive. But they know that their brawler is their brawler, and they'll let the brawler do their things and just kind of point them in the right direction. Like, all right, you're gonna go this way. Go with beat things up over there.
Don't spoil it. I haven't read the second one.
Oh, it's fun. I've been enjoying it. As of right now, the first comic's out. And it's Ben says it was like a little messy in the beginning, but I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
A lot better than the Godzilla one.
Oh my god, anything's better than that one.
That was just depressing, man.
But I'm sorry. I can get behind some of the comics, but that one was just all over the place.
I can suspend my disbelief a lot. Like, I'm already suspending my disbelief that I like Billy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That we're somehow brothers. I'm suspending my disbelief for that. But I will not put up with his blasphemy against Godzilla.
You damn right.
Cousin. But so we see that, and I think it's a really cool, like, humbling moment for Rangers and then kids alike who are watching the series and like reading the comics. Well, I don't really like kids reading the comics, but anyone who's seeing it for the first time can kind of take a hint to going, I might be the leader now, but I know that someday I might not be the leader.
Right. Well, I think that when the kids saw that, they didn't think about it until later on, rewatching it as like more of an adult. Yeah. They can more they can more coincide with it.
Yeah, yeah. They can think. So, like, they see it once, they come back later as an adult. It makes more sense to them then.
It makes more sense because we have more real life experience. Like, I'm not a leader of any sort. Like, I have somebody above me. Like, I have bosses, CEOs and stuff. I'm gonna be low on the totem pole, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like I don't need to be the leader. I can be just a good person.
Yes,
and I can do my job, do it well, and make sure everything around me works well. And that's my leadership position. And like, you can even say, like, a good leader doesn't have, like, a good a good leader doesn't have to be in charge.
No,
You don't like there. You've
it
seen
can
the
always
poster
be somebody
1,000 times. Yeah.
can always be somebody in the background.
Yeah, well, you've seen that poster where it's like a good leader is in front of the charge and not the one whipping the whip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I think. Like Jason did was he took initiative to lead Tommy.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Which
I
then
think that's awesome.
also pays off later on, and you'll see it when the seasons change over.
Right. We're gonna get to cool stuff here in a minute. All
Psych.
right.
Paywall.
Paywall. Do you have class action lawsuits against you? Do you want to sue someone? Are you an American? Do you want to be an American? Are you a Power Ranger? Do you want to have a legal battle with Hasbro? Do you have legal discussions with Disney? Don't call me. Call our lawyer at the Zero to Hero hotline. 555-553-5153. I forgot the number already, but call that number if you have any questions for the Zero to Hero lawyer. Muy gusto, Espanol. We're not your average family lawyer. Contact the law offices of Zero to Hero, and Zero to Hero. Welcome back, Grid Travelers. We're going to talk about Rocky, the greatest hero of all time. That's right, Willie. We're talking about your best friend.
Oh, that hurt my feelings, and I'm not even Willie.
Okay. So, we're gonna talk about Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, the changeover of powers when Jason, Trini, and Zach left to become to the peace conference. In the comics, they went to go become Omega Rangers.
Right.
So we're gonna talk about this and how Tommy went from being the de facto leader, like not the leader in training, to the de facto leader, and how Rocky became like the new leader, new second command, but never really took over control.
No, never.
Because he needed to be trained as a leader at that point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Right? Oh yeah. So it's
when
Tommy's turn to teach.
Yes. The whole idea of that actually plays out very well to see like the chemistry of the team. It's just like a workplace, you know. You get a new employee, will they be able to keep up with you, or are they going to fade out?
Well, we already expect like new employees aren't going to keep up right away. It takes time for them to develop the skills to get where they're going, and it takes good leaders to teach them how to do things. And you know, you're not going to have someone coming out of the gate perfect every time.
No, never.
It takes them a minute. And that's what happened with Adam, Rocky, and Aisha. To be fair, though, I think Adam was already like well set up.
Right.
But even to be fair, they were just background characters the rest of the season. Like they didn't really have anything going on.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah, you really don't see much out of them until.
Though I will say this, in season 3, Rocky's the one who found the secret, the hidden garden or the hidden cove where Ninja was. Rocky found that.
Oh, that's right.
Right, Willie. Rocky found something.
Oh God.
It's just going all in on this, aren't I? But yeah, so like we see them, we see these new characters come aboard, and we see Tommy, kind of fail at being a leader for a little bit because he wasn't really training them into like how Jason was training him.
Right.
But Tommy becomes one of the greatest Rangers of all time, right? So he has to learn from his mistakes, and this is one of his biggest mistakes: is not training Adam, Rocky, and Aisha properly, and that's a huge thing. And I think it's a massive oversight by Tommy. But he also hasn't been a leader for very long. He was an orphan.
Right.
Came in from being evil to being good. Was trained by Jason. You make mistakes. It's his first like leadership position.
I mean, he got
backup of Jason.
I mean, hell, he got a quid pro quo with goddamn Rita.
Right. Tit for tat over there. Right.
God dang. So he's seen it all. I mean, he's seen the power drained from him. He's had to transfer his power.
He was evil. He went good. He almost died. lost his powers, got him back barely, lost his powers again, left the team, came back, left the team again, came back as a mysterious White Ranger, and then took over the team from Jason as the new defective leader. Well, Jason was still there, still able to not really hold his hand, but give him advice when he needed it. But then he lost Jason. He lost his
number one.
Yeah, he lost his number one.
Yeah. And then so he had to physically train a new Red Ranger and show the ropes to the new Black and Yellow Ranger. But
which he kind of failed at.
It kind of failed at, and you see it. It happens, right? So, but yeah,
he had to learn. He had to learn how to do these things,
and that's one way of learning, like through the fire and flame, right? Or test the fire.
Yeah, the crucible of fire.
Crucible of fire, yeah. So
right, fancy words. Ooh,
yeah, ooh. But yeah, and like as kids, we don't see it. Like, again, I like to reference this as we don't see it as a kid, but as we got older and life more experience, we kind of, and you go back and rewatch it, you do start seeing these little subtle things.
Yeah, like
because you can relate to it more.
Yeah, like Adam was super quiet. Aisha wasn't really given much screen time. Rocky was kind of like just thrown in there.
Yeah,
he had some couple story beats, but like nothing of any substance. Well, Adam started like growing into a character, into a leadership position. Rocky was never given anywhere to shine.
He wasn't really well written into the writers didn't give him much to work with.
I do like how the comics kind of remedied some of that, where they actually gave Rocky like his family, seeing him as the oldest brother in his family, which was really, really sweet and endearing. And you're like, damn it, Rocky, I like you too much. And seeing him take on, seeing him. So we have a new Green Ranger in the comics called. His name is Matt. He was the guy Kimberly went out with at one point in the show, I believe. But he's in the comics, and so like Rocky believes him. Like Rocky trusts him because like I trust him to help us, and everyone else is like, well, the only other person was Billy and Rocky, the only two that trust him. Everyone else is like completely distrusting. Like, nope, not doing this.
Well, I mean, the last time they trusted a Green Ranger.
Someone got stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Megan's got broken into, man. But so right. But Rocky's there, and he's like, I trust this guy to save our bacon. That's it.
Right.
And I think it's really cool to see that even Rocky, who might not have been given the most development, has trust in someone he doesn't fully know, but he trusts that if he's a ranger, he's going to do good things. Because he's leading by example of trying to do good things.
Right.
It's like if they're taking after us, like he's like if he's taking after the Rangers and doing as we would do, he's gonna try to do the right thing. It might not always end up being the right thing, but he's gonna try his best to do the right thing. And I think that's a great side of leadership, especially with Rocky, who's a very underdeveloped character in the series, like the show series. That he has trust in believing that people are good.
Right.
Like inherently good.
Yeah, it's hard to trust people, because especially people that you don't really know very well.
Oh yeah. No, well,
so it's kind of hard to trust your life on it.
We all have our inherent biases. That's what we all have, and it's hard to break those biases. And like I know I have them. Billy has them. We all have them.
I still don't trust you.
That track. So, and then you see Rocky you see Rocky kind of still like stagnating a little bit, but you see Adam keep growing, and he gets some fantastic one-liners. He gets some more leadership positions, especially later in the series in Zeo, which we're also talking about here in a minute after this commercial. Commercial break. Generic audio commercial, Zeo to Hero, take 43. Hey listener, it looks like you're having fun over here listening to insert generic name here. If you like what you're listening over here, come on over to the Zeo to Hero podcast, where you can join Billy and myself, the bulk and skull of podcasting. if you want to listen to Ranger Powers and you want to go into and talk about
Cut!
anime, Gundam. Oh, what did I make up
You're
wrong?
supposed to say Zero to Hero is the best, and Billy and Jim as Bulk and Skull of podcasting is funnier than any other show out there. And you didn't say Power Rangers right. Get out of here. Do it
dang
again.
it. Fine. Generic audio commercial. Zeo to Hero. Take number 44. Hey, listener, it looks like you're having fun over here. Listening to insert generic name here.
God,
Oh, come on!
As we come back, we do want to talk about the changeover from MMPR to Zeo and how Tommy is no longer a sixth ranger, that he has become the leader of the team now. He has taken the Red Ranger position, Zeo Ranger 5. Rocky has become number 3.
From the number
Tanya,
1. Like, he was number 1, now he's number 2.
Yeah, so Rocky has become number 3, but number 1 in our hearts. You know,
Adam became the number 2. Tanya came in because Tanya changed. Like, we got Aisha stayed. Tanya came back for Zeo.
Right.
And so we had Catherine, Tanya, Rocky, Adam, Tommy, and then eventually Jason and Trey of Triforia.
Right.
But Adam got a promotion. Rocky got a demotion. And we get to see more of Adam being a total boss because he figured out leadership by himself. Because Tommy is not a good leadership developer.
And you actually see that play out into Turbo as well.
Mm-hmm.
How Tommy's just completely gone.
Yeah, he's gone a lot, and
so
he leaves. Dude, he leaves freaking TJ there by himself to man this team by himself, who's never been a Ranger before, and they lose the Diva Talks. But we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that. We'll come around to that. But I do want to talk about this one really pivotal moment in Zeo. So Jason comes back as the 6th Ranger, right? So it's Zeo Ranger number 6.
Right.
And that makes Rocky super comfortable because he's like, I replaced this guy. He's coming back. He's going to replace me now. Like, what's going on? And he goes I'm gonna take care of this. I'm gonna prove my worth to these people because why would he go after King Mondo by himself?
Right. Good point.
Did Jason, did Tommy not train him at all? But like, hey, don't go out the big bag by yourself. You're not you're not strong enough to handle this by yourself. Like, that's not something you should do. Like, none of us could do that. Like, we're not going to go toe to toe with this guy. No, never go out the big bag.
Never.
But he's sitting there watching Tommy go after Zed by himself a lot, right?
Right.
So he's like, well, if Tommy can do this, I can take care of this guy because this guy is, not as powerful as Zed is, right?
Right. Didn't work out so well.
And so, I just, every time I think about it, I always keep thinking about how Tommy just did not train Rocky at all. Like, I feel like Tommy just hated Rocky.
Right.
Like,
well,
really
he took the place of, the only guy he can pretty much trust.
Yeah,
so he resented that.
Yeah, he could resent that, yeah. But, I also feel like Tommy just didn't have the leadership skills at that point in time.
Right.
He was coasting at that point. Like, he was coasting along. Everything was kind of working itself out.
He was riding Tommy's coattails.
He was riding Jason's coattails.
Well, I mean, but who was the leader of that at that? He didn't really do much.
It was Jason. It was Tommy. Tommy was the leader in Zeo.
Oh, I thought we were talking about MMPR.
Oh, so yeah, MMPR, he was kind of Jason set him up, and it just kind of coasted from there.
Yeah, from there.
He had the White Ranger powers, which was the most powerful powers up at that point. Then they got the Ninjetti powers, which were kind of end all be all, and then they got the Shogun Megazord power, or the Shogun Megazord, and then they got the metallic armor, and so it was just basically a coasting game. Like, he was just coasting along.
Right.
Then they got the Zeo powers, which are the most powerful powers of all time.
Right.
And then they got the turbo powers, which is the most turbocharged powers of all time.
Oh God, don't get started.
Yeah, I said that. Mm-hmm. And then he got hit hard when he gave the powers to TJ, and they lost. They lost hard. Mm-hmm. Right? So I know this has become like the Tommy Oliver like shit talking episode. Well, we're not shit talking him. I swear, we're not. We're just pointing out the like flaws in leadership. Like showing that you have to grow as a leader to understand who you are as a leader. You don't have to be the leader to be the leader. You don't have to be.
No.
Like Jason comes back and he's not the leader. He doesn't take over for for Tommy at all. He just kind of shows up, fills in his place, and does what he's told to do. And
Jason just comes into all he did was come into harbor a power while Trey was able to heal himself and bring him back to one. Like that's all he was there for.
Yeah, that's all he was there for. He's like, I'm just gonna be here. We're gonna help.
But I don't think he was expecting the amount of toll that power took on him in such a short time.
Yeah, he only had it for a few months, maybe, and almost killed.
Yeah. It was faster paced because it was. I think the Zeo Gold was not the same as Zeo Powers because they were more supercharged.
That's a whole conversation for another day. But I think that the Zeo Gold powers have been active longer.
Oh, they were long. Yeah, a lot longer.
While you had the original 5 Zeo Rangers who the powers were freshly awakened. So not nearly as bad taking the toll on them. Bad. So we'll go with that. But yeah, you see even the Turbo movie, which is canon, you see Jason fight Tommy, and Tommy's like, you're my best friend. You can't leave me like this.
Yeah.
No, Jenny, you can't leave me like this. And trying to, fight back the evil Jason, and I feel like it's a hit to his ego. Because you kind of see him in Turbo, giving off more of a retiring leadership vibe to Adam. He's like, hey, I'm kind of going out. Adam, you're going to start taking the lead on a lot of stuff. Even at the very end of Zeo, he was starting to give Adam more stuff to do.
Yeah, and then in Turbo, he let Adam take the reins off the ship and go explore first.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, go
Adam,
find out for us.
Yeah. You're doing your thing, man. We're going to keep, stoking that leadership you got going on, that leader motif you got going on, which comes back in Once a Ranger. Comes back hard.
Oh, yeah.
Even not just Once a Ranger. What's that? It was Once a Ranger, right? No, it's not Once a Ranger. Back in Black.
I can't remember the name of the episode, but when he helps fight with Carlos.
Yeah, when he comes back with Carlos, he's like, Carlos, you're the Black Ranger. I'm not the Ranger. You are, but I will help you.
That episode was really good because he actually had access to his Zeo Green power, but he wanted to.
No, he wanted access to his Zeo Green powers. They use his Zeo powers to create the Turbo powers. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah, so they could drain them of his Zeo powers. Hence why they went to the little thingy and they created new powers, and why Rocky would still have the Zeo Blue powers. But that's a whole other story for a different day. We're gonna get into at some point.
They were talking about something. I forgot what it was, but what that was is kind of linked to something with Tommy. Okay, that's a whole different thing then. But yeah, so you can see that Adam puts his life on the line by using the broken morpher.
Yeah. And it was legitimately a kickstart for Carlos. Carlos, you gotta you're gonna get hurt. Plain simple. You're a Ranger. It's gonna suck.
It's I'll lead by example. Look at me. I'm gonna morph with a busted morpher. Could technically kill me to show you that hey, shit's gonna happen, right?
I don't think was the proper thing to do, but Carlos really needed it. But
yeah,
he's also. I think Adam took more leadership examples from Tommy than Rocky would have.
Right.
To be fair, we're going to see how this all ends up in the anniversary series anyways, in series 30. Right? Series 30, right?
Yeah.
Anniversary season? Yeah. Yes. But you see him come back as Once a Ranger, and I feel like he developed a different leadership style at that point in time, where he wasn't look at me, I'm going to hurt myself to say, no, he was more hey, we know what you got to do. We're here. We're going to kick butt, take names, and we're going to do it in a safe manner.
Because I don't think he knew who he was going to get teamed up with. I think that when it happened, he was like, give me my team. I'll lead this.
I got this in the bag. And he had it in the bag. And he even talked to Bridge. And Bridge is Bridge, you get the leader of his team. He led leaders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Bridge was, in SPD terms, he was the leader in that one.
He was,
and he got pulled. He got plucked.
Which I thought was really
plucked.
cool because Bridge is definitely a weird dude.
Very to see him as number one, that was awesome.
Yeah, but it shows that Adam grew into his leadership skills, and I thought it was really, really cool. And then you see Rocky come back again later in what's it called?
Dimensions in Danger.
Dimensions of Danger. And that point, he was like, "All right, I'm here. We're gonna do what we got to do." And
wait, was that the name of that one? We need to look this up.
Dimensions of Danger,
because we don't want to get yelled at.
You don't get any flack from True Power Just fans.
Yeah, for real.
For Rizzles.
What was it Ninja Storm, right?
Ninja Steel.
Ninja Steel. That's right.
Season 2.
Let me find out. Come on, hurry up.
Come on, internet, work.
Do the thing.
Why will you work harder for me?
I
still like the fact that Rocky just starts blasting right away in that episode to the big baddie. Oh, big bad guy, blaster, start blasting. He was the first to start blasting. It was really funny. I start blasting. Though I do feel like he didn't come back for the anniversary episode, the Forever Red episode. So in my head canon, because it's not really canon in the show, but he didn't go back because he didn't feel like he qualified as a leader at that point in time. He's like, I can't go back. I'm not really the leader. I never really was the Red Ranger.
So it was called Dimensions in Danger.
Dimensions in Danger? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, when he came back as the Red Ranger in Ninja Steel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure enough, he does. He starts coming back blasting because he was so used to that Zeo power. Well,
yeah,
canon Zeo.
Yes, Zeo canon. But I feel like he didn't come back for the Forever Red episode because he didn't feel like he was a leader. He didn't feel like he deserved to be there,
or that the Morphin Grid didn't see him as a leader.
That could be it too. The Morphin Grid is apparently omnipotent.
Yeah.
Yes, it knows and sees all.
Yeah, it knows all, sees all. It's the dude behind the curtain.
It's God.
Oh God. But yeah,
it's Jeebus. I swear to Jeebus. But yeah, yeah. But Morphin Grid could have not seen him as a leader, and hence why I demoted him from number 2 to number 3 from Power Rangers to Zeos.
Yeah.
The Morphin Grid could be like, hey man, you're not leadership material yet, but you'll get back there eventually. Hence why he comes back as the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
That's right. We just went on a tirade about Rocky and how he developed as a leader in New Beginnings today.
Yes.
2023 started off with a strong start. Willie's going to unsubscribe from the channel, leave the group. We won't ever see him again. It's like, bye.
Bye.
Okay, before I get done with all the Tommy bashing real quick, I will say this. Tommy came back as Dr. O, Dr. Oliver, and Dino Thunder, right?
Right. True leader.
He was a leader. He was the support team.
Well,
he helped Connor become the actual leader of that group. And he finally stepped down from being the most important person in the room to be like, hey, I'm not the most important person in the room. I got to help this new generation of heroes become the best of what they could be.
Yeah, but he gets
He didn't give him all the answers.
He gets a sweet suit out of it.
A sweet brachial suit out of it. Yeah, and a great brachial staff and a great Brachiosaurus Ranger Zord.
Yeah,
dang right. The black suit. Damn right.
Yeah.
He also helps Trent a lot because Trent, he went to the exact same thing Trent went through, where he was evil and had to come back around being good, and that was taxing. It was hard. It was hard to do that because you had to relive your past and you have to admit that you weren't in control.
Yeah,
I wasn't in control. I hadn't I liked it. I wasn't in control though. It felt good.
Right.
And he was even the Trent's hey, it sucks. You got to get through it. You got to get through it. And once you get through it, you can you can better yourself. You can figure out who you want to be.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. Now, I'm really mad that they lost their powers in that season. all right, guys, we had to give up all our powers to destroy the big bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh
All
no!
the power's gone. Oh no! Yeah, that was annoying. But Tommy comes full circle, man. He goes from being like the bad guy to being the good guy to being a bad leader to being a good leader, helping another bad guy who becomes a good guy.
Right.
I really, really wish we would bring Trick back at some point and like have him like coach Rangers or something like that. Like, have
That'd
him
be
come back,
interesting.
hey guys, I was a bad guy once.
Yeah.
Now I'm a good guy.
So-
and I want to help you become better.
Yeah. Huh? It's an
Heck, I have
interesting thought. Wouldn't
Well,
mind.
I want Jack to come back. I want Z to come back. There's so many like, I want RJ to come back.
Apparently Mick's coming back.
I'm 100% on board with this because Mick is fun. I like Mick. Mechanic. Okay, but so we'll cut to one more commercial real quick.
Has the morphing grid not cleaned your suit very well? Are you trying to get rid of stains that are seemingly unpower blastable? Is the Tide Pod that you're putting in the morphing grid not cleaning so well? Is the bleach you're trying to get off the putty goo not doing so well?
Come on down to Unpaid Master G's Washer and Dry Cleaner Services.
Only open on Saturdays and Sundays from 12 to 1 p.m.
You won't believe how well they get all the stains out. I had putty stains on my gloves for years. Unpaid Master G's Dry Cleaning Service got it all free.
After beating on mucus, my gloves were all stained, but Master G got them shining clean.
Unpaid Mentor G's got Demetria's lipstick off my collar.
You wouldn't believe the stuff that got out of my suit at Unpaid Master G's Dry Cleaner and Washateria.
This commercial was not sponsored by Zalpha's Helmet Cream.
It was sponsored by Unpaid Master G's Washer and Dry Cleaner Services. Da-da! Well, we're coming back from this last break, and we'll let you guys know this is kind of how the format's going to be for a little bit. See if you guys like it. If you hate it, let us know. If you like it, let us know. Let us know, like, not just about listening, but tell us. You hit us up at discord.zeotohero.com. Leave a comment on Apple Podcast. There's even like a website you can actually leave comments at for us as well. I kind of want to add a like comment section to the website as well, like our actual website, Zeo to Hero, and have comments there as well.
Let's face it, we're not gonna get comments.
Well, like say it in the Discord server, like pop in the general, be like, "I hate this" or "I love it, guys. You guys are doing great." One of the two. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, stuff like that. Like, tell us what you guys want to hear, because we can do stuff all day. We can do stuff like this. We can do stuff like our old stuff. We can do stuff like new stuff. However you want to do it, but we want to make stuff for y'all, because it's not just for us anymore. Like, it's for y'all. Like, we like doing the show, and we keep having fun with it. This is still fun for us.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure you guys are having a fun time too. Because we can do whatever we want with it. It's great. The whole point of the show is
the possibilities are endless.
Well, there's only so many possibilities.
Yeah, there's so many possibilities.
Get out right now. Sam's pointing at you.
Come on.
But yeah. So let us know what you think about the new kind of format, and don't worry, it's gonna be more defined as we go, because we're trying this out. We're seeing how we like it, and if we really like it, we're gonna keep with it. And if you guys like it, we're gonna really keep with it. And leave us a comment. Why not subscribe? Share this with your friends. Like anyone you know who you might like, this kind of content. Share it with people. Say hi. Make us the number one podcast for Power Rangers.
Oh God,
see this happen.
We can't top number one.
The Grid. Oh my God, we could top the Grid so
easily.
No,
not them.
Who?
Oh my God.
What, the Power Chamber?
The Ranger Command Power is number one.
Oh well, I'm gonna beat them. I want to beat them.
Good luck. Let the power.
I feel like we are far more charismatic than they are.
Let's let the power protect you, and let's rev into space next. That was horrible. See, nobody's gonna like that, Jay. I don't know why you even thought of that. Okay.
All right. Well, until next week, guys. Hope you found some interesting stuff that we talked about today.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. Laters.
Do you want to be a hero, but you're not? Do you want to be a Jiro or a Kojiro, but you can't because you're not Japanese? Have you considered zeotohero? Remember, heroes come and go. Idiots are forever. Jimbalee!
Yeah,
You got me. I don't know.
You run a Power Rangers podcast. How do you not know these things?
Like I said, I want to watch some of it before I talked about it.
Well, you had all
You
week.
see- Yeah. Okay.
You had all.
I told you I
week.
didn't think we were doing an episode this week.
What do you think we were gonna do today? Not an episode?
I thought we were doing a.
It said here, right here, week 1, January, week 1. What week is this?
This
January.
is week 1.
Week 1.
You're killing me. You know that.